Hello everyone. Today I bring you a model of the general generation transformed into MetaHuman. One of the methods of binding is to import the model of the DAZ breakthrough case into the case. We can see that the first one has a relatively complete model. Hair, accessories, clothes, etc. are all done directly, and the textures are also done directly. So it is very convenient for us to use. Then we click on our plugin to receive sex. We will find out how many meters the model becomes 0.0 at this time. At this time, the size of its model is really not in line with our thermal memory. So at this time we unlock meter scale. Then enlarge the model to a larger size. The operation to expand the uniform rotation is to hold down S and then press the uniform rotation. Then we changed Porsches to Aerodyn clip. Change start to 0.1 and change press to 1 law wheel. We typed in a template female body to use as a reference. At this time we need to adjust the pose of the first word model to be close to the pose of our reference model. Only by pouring it into the engine later can you avoid some mistakes. First of all, let's adjust. Let's talk about the high heels here. Let's prove it first. Hold down 2. Then just rotate it. Adjusting the thigh here is similar to pressing and holding a few pieces, and then you can rotate it by moving the main mark. Let's evaluate the model as a whole and finally upward. Calm down, evil. It is at the same level as the soles of the model's feet. It's like putting our feet on the ground. Before, it was like our shoes were under the ground. After adjustment, our shoes just hit the ground. Friends, remember to like, collect, 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 collection, 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 collection. Collection, 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 collection. Here we are adjusting the position of the thighs. The thigh is as close as possible to the direction of the reference model. Here we start to adjust the position of the hand plane. We want our arm's orientation and reference. The model's arm orientation may be close to. By default, some selected channels are locked. So at this time, we untie all three directional channels of X body. In this case, we can rotate in any direction. In the same way as here, we also cancel the unlocking of all channels and then display the hand axis controller. Then transfer the direction of the arm to the direction of the reference model as much as possible. The closer the model is to the reference model, the APOWD word. Then after we generate the body stock structure later, there will be fewer mistakes when pouring in. That is, it will not deform when added to the animation blueprint later. After adjusting the model, we harden the bone grid shape to the model. Make all models similarly. This atmosphere modifier cannot be applied, so just delete it. At this point, we have applied the chip modification of stock prices to all models. At this time, we can just stop these controllers of stock prices. Because we are just using the model here. It needs to be explained here that we actually did not change the size of the model. The current size is the same as the first original model. Friends, remember to like, collect, 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 collection, 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 collection. Here we look at the body of the model with. We found that its eyeballs, body and head are all in the same model. So we need to separate this model line. The plugin comes with a function to separate objects based on materials. The separated objects will be automatically classified according to the name of the material. After separation, we will put it together at this time. Merge the head-related components and merge the body-related components, O. The purpose of this is to correspond to the media game as much as possible. Because the binding of MetaHuman requires the head and body to be separated, and then the eyeballs, teeth, etc. also need to be separated. What we did was to make the model of the first season in the same way as the media tour. Just don't change his attitude. Let me talk about it here. The fast-moving parts related to nuclear disease are traps, withdrawals and shocks. We renamed the object body after the nuclear weapon body. Here we start with the nucleus header. We combine Phaser with besides. Yes. Lips, mouth, then stink this nucleosis. We named this ugly hat. Next we start to deal with the eyes. We combine these parts of the eyeball with the eyes position of the eyeball. Then separate it into the left and right eyeballs. Enter perspective mode. Then reposition the left eyeball, then press and hold the fart, then separate, then reposition the left eyeball, left eye, reposition the right eyeball, left eye, right eye, the first tooth. We won't do anything about it here, but usually, well, just buy the tooth model that comes with the game. Here we take the core of the core and delete some of the heavy core vertices. Oh. Something was good here just now. We changed the name to Rei. In the same way, we delete the repeated vertices of the body. Just once. At this point, we have almost finished processing the DAC model. We first build a Kara ring to hold an entire body that we want to pour. Let's make a copy of the head and body. Next, we combine the two negative models and soldiers into one. Then a model after this nuclear disease will be used and poured out. An income used to make our wrap. Okay, let's show respect for our bodies and those of the Queen. Then pour out. Here we click the Export Wrap Template button. Then export the built-in template for wrap. Used later to wrap without proof. Then here our DAZ model pre-processing is over. Later we enter the wrap stage. In this file home, we see the first character model we just exported, as well as our master model. Then we open Wrap 4D, and then use LoadGem to blow a few points to add the model just now. What if there are friends who are not familiar with using Wrap 4D? You can go to the official website on Wrap to see the tutorials. We only use his face wrapping function here. We set it up here. On the left is our planning board. That is a model we want to deform. On the right is our fixed model. Then we just follow the operations in the video to connect the nodes. We connect the output of select point to the input node of steel opposite. We must pay attention to distinguish fix when connecting. Mask skewers and negations. As long as they are blown like that, Liudingji makes skewers, which is equivalent to the object we want to deform. Then after a few minutes, we started making phone calls. Select points players. Then he started calling. Hand-marked pieces. The software will automatically add points at a time. I won't go into details here. Then we will. Friends, remember to like, collect, 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 collection, 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 collection. Friends, remember to like, collect, 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 collection, 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 collection. Otherwise, we will start saving our model later. In fact, we do not require very high accuracy if we cannot get the result. To build a selling point game model with the first model, a corresponding relationship between topos which facilitates our subsequent transmission of land weights. Finally, let's save the project here as well. It is convenient for us to follow up. If we find any problems, we can modify them again. Go back to our Blender project, pour in the large character model we just wrapped, then we pour in the eyeball and the tooth model, then we pour in the eyeball and the tooth model. Both of these models are quite questionable. We move the eyeballs and teeth to the position of the large character model. Make them as close as possible to the large print model in size and position. This will make it easier for us to generate DNA later. Eyeball position has more accurate bony septum position. Teeth 2. Here we adjust the position of the eyeball and its scale. Make it as close as possible to the position and size of the large character model. Then we use scale and application building to open the system. We guarantee that the opening of his building will be 90 degrees. This is the prerequisite for Nibiru to generate DA. His standard system is to miss God. And Scow's leakage of God is 0. There should be 1, but the missing X-beam is 90 degrees. We bear an eyeball. Then move to the position of the right eye. If we hold down Jack, we can move the standard axe table in High-On World. We just changed it to globe, also for when we hold down Jacks. The axe table that can be used as a standard system in the world can be moved. We move the oral cavity as close as possible to the large character model. The position where the teeth are close to each other. This is to enable better search and release. Movable position when we choose to change it. What about the future when Pingyi has a good mouth and a strong mouth? We need to change the marking center back again. In fact, click Apply OK here to do it later. Its marking center has become the marking center of the world. Since we just did the rotation, so we treat meat as a holy thing. Guilin, then we set it here to just 90 degrees. Then perform apple look rotation again. Then we receive another 90. It returns to its position along the line and meets the requirements of our subsequent DNA benchmarking system. Just now here is a little quiz you can learn from it. After treating the eyeballs and teeth, we started to deal with the body and head. We show the headers we imported. Then click Separate Active Object to of the plugin. Body model. At the same time, its point is that it is also guaranteed to be the same as MetaHuman. Then at this time we start to generate DNA and we show the position of the head, body, eyeballs, and teeth. Then set the DNA path. Here we call it Gaudian DNA. Then we click on T.N.A. We can see it in the entry. At this time, DNA documents have begun to appear. Then he is still being generated. It will take us about 30 seconds here. By this time our DNA has been generated. Let's go back to Blender and continue with the next step. Next we start to rig the body. We select the body and then build body rig. At this time, when we try and Dagang, we will see a body arm appear. At this time our body is bound and automatically bound, and then we start importing our head binding. It will take about a minute to enter the head binding through DNA. So we need to wait patiently. Okay, now the pouring is complete. At this time we click applying same bones between height and body. Look at the same grid parts of the body and head. At this time, our officials and the media have completed the body binding and head binding. What happens after the model of Metadata Game Support Shop is bound? At this time we begin to enter the most important step, which is the weight of the land. We need to transfer the bone cutting weight on the metagame door support to the large character model. Let's first demonstrate how the head is transmitted to the ground. Let's first take advantage of Tu Jiahan's ALOD, 0 maximum tempo. There is also a bone-cutting front part in Luling Man. It also has a shift key on it. Let's delete all the shift keys first. Then we also copy the bones of the large character model. Also rename the post-crime as Qianfu. our Sirius L.D.0 belt. Then click the question mark to enter the building entrance viewing mode. Then we opened his mouth with soft wires. The purpose of doing this is for when we pass the ground to the front and middle later. The mouth can better pass the ground forward and middle. Vigorous. We also opened our mouths that were damaged by the bones. The opening range is consistent with the opening range shown in our tweet. Only, we enter the soft insurance liability mode, and then we can open the shifu. We can make the vertices of the boulder model as close as possible to the inner surface of the pavement. Here we need to make the vertices of our big character model. Now it may be affixed to the corresponding model of Wheatfield throttle transparent pavement. Because our subsequent transmission of the front weight is based on the distance. So the better the impression relationship we establish in this area, the front weight of our place of origin will be better. We open MetablrigerV2.0 topo. Then we choose the MetaHuman top model on Mishima. Then he does an UP and selects the object to which the front weight is to be transferred. Then, because the big def model and the modern mo type are different from each other, we chose the part to remove the pavement. Only, we gave bone domain too much model weight, and passed the land to bone domain to gain. Because they both have the same model, we choose the sound. After the land transfer is completely heavy, we will give bone realm the sky-high price meter. At this point we can drive the face of the large character model through the controller. At this time we can take a look. At this time, we have actually seen that our model can be moved. But the oral part is not right. The solution for us to show our responsibility at this time is to remove the wall of communication. We find the material ball corresponding to the mouth wall part. It should be mouse, we emphasize mouse. Acquisition of Queen shows responsibility to Salon. Hold X to delete vertices. At this time, we can't see anything inside the mouth. Here we find that the mouth looks a bit rough. We can fix this later when we modify the expression. We open the internal line. The MAT corresponding to Daz's insiders is this Yangdang stock. So let's get started with the soft training soft stocks behind the buying point. Then we click to where S4Y him. Forced to choose different. Because the special force is different. Then we choose trans 4Y to give insiders sky-high RMIU at this time. Then set the meters object to hat meter. Because it is driven by the bony septum of the face. In the same example, we also conduct a full transfer of the performance, and performance. The rest of the parts can be directly transferred by passing the front weight. No need to make an additional transfer. For example, open your mouth to pass the ball forward. Here we begin to pass on the ground and extend the request. Good. The main thing to note is that we can say something here. That is to say, our self AB and tag AB, self AB choose. That means it already has money on it. We need to pass the money on it to tag AB. So self AB is generally a MAT human-to-put object. Tag to the AB is the object of our rough model. Then besides tag blug, there are two types, one is CM or default. If the two objects in the past money are the same topo. If they are different, choose thief choose. We also add armar to las and then set object 2 to hat arm age. After Chuandi is fully reloaded, you need to create a MT for the object before it can be driven by bone cutting. In this way, our head is actually completely heavy. We can enter pulse mode to see the effect. In fact, the effect of directly transmitting the emperor is already relatively good. For example, we see that the acting here is not good enough. Next we can modify the facial expressions. Just add water PK to modify your expression. We only repair the right eye here. Then the left eye will not be repaired to facilitate comparison later. Let's go back to object mode and start working on Baked Monument Water PK. Our Sangsang is set to have water PK. Targets app is the object that needs to pass super key. For example, our source app here is usually an object of MetaHuman-compatible. For example, here we show hands AOD, 0 just mash. Then the ones he gave correspond to those from Daz3D and Gyuhan. Then he will put hard II. The shape keys on the second retail store are all baked onto the bones. He actually doesn't have the power to move. Sub can be moved without a top battery inside. Next we move on to the facial expression editing process. We enter pulse mode and pull the eye closed controller too. Then we go back to object mode. Here we see a good story about B-plane B. There is no drama in object mode after all. Fix these problems by repairing SAN-PK. We choose to click the question mark on the keyboard to enter the building entrance mode. You can just view our head. Then we find the position under Who Park. B. Then click on the side product, then click on Modify Gas. Select both triangles and quadrilaterals. At this time, we can perform edges in the edge product mode while ensuring the shape of our edge product and practice until the corresponding sleep state. In a similar way, we are working on solutions. This is just a demonstration. Who has a lot of expressions in PK that can be repaired by just planting. Let's click on Call for Coffee Shop case. Then we enter pulse mode. So we need to enter pulse mode. In the same way, we find only the unique shift key. Then edit. During the weapons show, let's uncheck the connect box. In this case, it will be more conducive for us to remove a few spears from the side. Since I'm not a professional modeler, so here are a few demonstrations. Prove that this deformation has several effects. Friends, remember to like, collect, 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 collection, 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 collection. At this time, let's go back to post mode. Let's look at the right eye. Its jointed sphere can be pressed very tightly. The eyes can also be squeezed very tightly. Let's take a look at the left eye. The left eye is a contrast that we haven't cultivated yet. It is squeezed out of shape. We can see that. Here we only do some repairs and use them to make a quick impression. Others look up, down, left and right, we hope. Let's take a break here and open our mouth again. Because he opens his mouth, it seems to us that his mouth is not beautiful. We just need to find the BS of the mouth. Then we are in standard coarse mode. Just use the Pinhua ratio brush to do the leveling. Here we find some shadows on the mouth. We can pass. Clear custom split nomos to solve. Then we will find the shape key of the paper position at this time. Then perform smoothing by comparing the speed. At this time we will find that the mouth is much smoother. At this time we also show the teeth. The teeth here we use are the teeth of the Nedigang band. If the user wants to use their own tooth model, then you have to use the method just demonstrated to find out. Then it's fine. Next, we will also pass on the weight of the body. The weight of the body we pass on is very simple. We bind the body like clothing. Here we should pay attention to the modification and change it to the BAD LD0 mesh with Meta modifier. Then Coast chooses our big character body. At this time, the plugin will automatically retransmit the data to the body of our large character model and add stock price modification to him, and set the object of the stock owner's modification period, which is armor. After setting the body weight, we can use a similar method to bind the clothing configuration. For example, this thing on the head here. We need to bind it to the header. Then our cosimeter connection needs to be changed to 2. And then because we think it's steel, so we need to bind this cosimeter to the skeleton we still have. If you want to bind it to other bones, just change the gauge name in HM to what you want. Just name the advertisement you want to bind. I want to explain here. The purpose of Bao Di Dui Gen Han is Bao Di Dui Gen Han. This is equivalent to us passing the front weight. It is 2 objects with front weight. Usually it should be on top of our model. For example, the dry package template we use here. It's the selling point of the accelerator peeling. And it's the first body we nailed. It has front weight on it. Friends, remember to like, collect, 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 collection, 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 collection. Large force. 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 At this point, we have completed all the DZ models. Except for his hair, the rest of his body parts can already be driven by the stock price of Wheatfield's backdoor. We can enter Posmo Matters to observe. Let's first select almost bottom H. Then enter the Posmo thing. Then select some stock prices. Let us make all stock prices. All shown in front. Then pause Roan Ecologic. This can save some performance, because running rack logic in pause mode will consume more resources. We can see the boundaries. Can drive its accessories to move normally. What needs to be noted here is that we did not use the Apibo power cutoff. The effect of post-driver is actually different, because the practice of appraisal is assisted by those appraisal estimates are not actually driven. This is just the effect of trap membrane binding nails. We can see that things like a pair can be driven normally. We go into whoops mode. Let's take a look at the effect of our facial expressions. The eyeballs here are not moving because we did not enable rack logic when we click to enable rack logic. You will find that your eyeballs can move. After my aunt took the test in this mode, we found that even the controller is a little slow to drive the expressions. So now all we have to do is support one project. There can only be one person with the strength of a rubbish gram in it. Here we find that the teeth are albuginia. We import a tooth texture from the outside. Here we add the hair plus the hair here. Actually it's man. We will integrate it into self-hair later. Let's first focus on objects in object mode. Then enter side level mode. Then select a vertex below. Separate this part of the grid. Let it serve as a birth point for the example hair. Let's select the hair first. Select that cap again. Then select Gatekeeper with Black People, and this plugin will automatically help us turn the grid hair into vertical hair. Note that the outside settings here should be set to ring 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 ring. This kind of smooth hair looks denser. If you use the plugin that comes with it, it will look a bit absorbed. In this way we have transformed the hair leaves. Then here we first build a collection. We put everything related to the head into this collection. Such as Eiley Wright had. There are also some accessories for hair and neck. There are also Allen insiders and so on. We distinguish here mainly to facilitate our subsequent export. Because we need to export the body skeleton once and then export the facial skeleton once. Let's see another collection for storing body-related parts. Friends, remember to like, collect, 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 collection, 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 collection. Collection, 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 collection. Okay, here we have almost finished distinguishing, and then we will export, and we will display the irrelevant objects. Then show the state H1RM and then show the responsibility to export select object to add DLX. Then set the name of the FX we exported to the ancient language basehead. Similarly, we export the relevant parts of the body. Trap all the grids related to the holy laws. Then click Armag on Jens Hongbao and export. We named him Besby. Click F-Backs. Then later here, how do we derive the word standing spear method? We hide all visible objects in the scene. It's equivalent to our media without ViewSonic, we can't see anything. Then we click on our particle hair. Choose the island ABC. Then select Visible Only for the basket that introduces lessons. Then set the setting and select While Import. Then show your responsibility and export a few. Here our export is complete. Here we open one, and we have newly imported a language from MetaHuman, 5.4%. Create a new sequence file home. We import it in Rigo file home. The back ginseng we just poured out. The Lansyan chose made humans face like type Galen. Then select Import Mop Target. Then Dress-Hold Motion Match is finally set to Ling. Then he showed his responsibility for not investing any property. Don't sing to see the wealth, don't enter the sticker, then click to enter. At this time we are injecting DNA. We are responsible for the DNA we just generated. Settings, House Price Animation Blueprint. Then set the pit extraction. We are here under Muffet Target. We can see the Muffet target we imported. Then we enter the animation. Let's see if our animation is correct. We show our responsibility here to view RK's animation. We play with bamboo needles and find that we close our eyes. And the closing of the eyes is consistent with the appearance we have cultivated. We open the iMaterial color details under M window. Then there is the second part of this animation post-production blueprint. C is the first to show responsibility. Even the first one, the second one is fine. You can give it a try and then choose any Mason Rick control Rick. Set to by the door control Rick. Next we set the material for the head. Since we use the DNG Toinray plugin, we have poured this model into the gun, so it already has the corresponding texture inside its teeth. We only need to search for the corresponding material in the search box. There's not much to say here. Just find the corresponding material settings. Friends, remember to like, collect, 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 collection, 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 collection. After finishing the materials of the body and head, let's create a new file called BP for placing our blueprint. After finishing the materials of the body and head, for placing our blueprint, then we set up a file home called Black Sun Import, which we will use later to import our examples. We click on Input, select ABC file, then pay attention to setting Skios peripherals to. Set the extension of X weeks to 90, then click Import, and then right-click. Create a ranking. Site Scatter Run Sage, select the corresponding ancient language hat. In Decreate, then we brought over a blueprint from MateHuman to bake the cup, naming a B-Ice blueprint of our own. Then both machines enter the blueprint. Delete some components that we don't need. Buddy Skeletto Match is set to Ancient Buddy. Then I went to great lengths to design it into the ancient language style. Set the child to the groom hair we just imported. If you want to modify the hair parameters, just modify those in the groom group description. Here we find that it doesn't matter if there are no modifications. Let's turn off the line. Then just reopen the BP blueprint. Enter repot and you will find that everything is normal. We put the blueprint into the scene. Let the blueprint be brought into the scene. Let the blueprint be brought into scene. Then rotate it so that we can see the face more clearly. Then we first build a Leo sequence. ATBP is inserted into Leo sequence. Next, we just need to open the cover again. It's useless, just turn it off. Then we can select the controller at this time. Push it and see the effect. It all looks normal. Then let's see if the facial controller is correct. Friends, remember to like, collect, 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 collection, 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 collection. Well, the demonstration is on the wall but not on the wall, so it is in line with our expectations. Next we add a facial controller animation. That is the official controller animation. Let's take a look at the effect. Then let's play it together with the official body animation. Then add the body sound. One three 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 three.